So that, oh, wonderful. Well, while they do, I'll just introduce our topic because I think this is going to be, I know this is going to be a really valuable resource. So we're recording it so that any of us can use it to refresh ourselves, but also to share with future business partners. So once they're online, I'll introduce Paul and Vanessa Jean. Everyone here surely knows them, but it's so lovely to have them on our team call and to share about this specific side of doTerra, which is really important because this is how we get paid. So we've been talking tonight about delving into our why, our purpose, and that fuels. Thanks, Anne-Marie. That fuels our drive to be paid. So understanding how we get paid is important as well. And like Emma said, we learn it as we go. So tonight we have Paul Ovens. Here he is, and he's going to talk us through the practical side, the logistics of ranks in doTerra. And then Vanessa's coming to join as well, and she's going to talk about the embodiment and what it means to be at different ranks, who you are as a person at each of these ranks. And they're just going to personalise it. I remember when I first started, you see the words director, executive, premier, whatever, you're like, what does it all mean? Tonight's going to bring clarity. It's going to be amazing. Handing over to you. Thank you, Paul.
Anna, you are too kind. I want to start just if we can maybe all use the chat and let us know how we're feeling, number one, and also secondly, if you've got any questions around this whole ranking thing, like that we can make sure that we address tonight as part of this so that we don't miss anything out for anybody, because I think a lot of the time we as leaders go, well, they need this. And then we do that and we deliver all that, but we don't always hit all of the key points because usually there's some few questions that people that have got, or they just haven't kind of got the ducks all totally in a row, and we just want to be able to make sure that we hit that for you tonight. So I'm just going to, while you guys are doing that, I'm just going to find what I want to share with you on the PowerPoint. Oops. And get the screen share open. When my computer cooperates.
Do you need to be host to share, Paul?
Or co-host at least, I would say. Yeah,
okay.
more than likely.
Julie's onto it.
All right, amazing. Thanks, Julie.
Okay. It should be right now.
All right. Fast forward.
That work?
I haven't tried to share yet. I'm just getting to where I need to with these slides to the right spot.
We've all been on having a good old chat, Paul, just so you know. We've all been checking in.
Yeah.
We've all had a good, so we're all right to sit and wait. We've been chatting for half an hour already.
Okay, no worries. Well, look, I won't take too much longer. I'm hotspotting up my phone, so it's a little on the slow side, but here it is. Here's what I wanted. Okay, cool. All right. So what have we got in there? So Julie's excited for going for gold. I'm excited for you too, Julie. That sounds amazing. Tash is feeling positive. That's good. We had a great couple of hours with Tash today, so got to connect with her in person, believe it or not, which doesn't happen too often for us with a lot of our team, especially now that we're down at Denmark. And yeah, that's the bug, I think. Okay, just checking the chat to make sure I've got everything. There is no questions. All right. Well, let's have a quick look at it. Vanessa's going to be on in just a minute. We're in different locations this evening, and she is getting dinner for my father. So very important that we feed the old man. So make sure he survives. Okay, you guys should be able to see my screen now.
Yep.
That's what we're going to kind of cover off tonight: ranks, placements, and structuring for success. So there's that kind of pathway that we see here of all the little pebble stones there, and it's like all the places that we need to go in order for this to happen. And we start out as a wellness advocate, just joining doTerra and like feeling our way. And some of you are right there, some of you are close to there, some of you are way past there. But nevertheless, we all got to go through the same journey. And the first few ranks are just made up of overall volume, just the volume that is you plus your group of customers, anybody below you, right? They can be placed there by you, they can be placed there by your upline. Any combination of both is fine and normal. And that makes up your overall volume. I don't know if we're going to be covering kind of anything. Do you want to cover comp plan and how it relates to the ranks as well, Anna, tonight?
No, let's keep it simple. Yeah.
Fine, great.
Next time.
Fine. Yeah, I don't want to kind of wander outside my lane. So, but initially, but the ranks, I will say about the comp plan though, the ranks do reflect in what you get paid. Okay, so as you're kind of moving through these different ranks, you get to access different parts of the comp plan. So it is important for your income progression to actually get rank progression. Just having a lot of OV, if it isn't placed correctly in your team, and kind of a strategy around placements so that you can be structured to take advantage of advancing rank, then there's a corresponding cost to that, and usually it's that you miss out on some of the different parts of the comp plan that you could be accessing. But the first few ranks, so as you see on the screen there, manager, director, executive, and elite, are all what we call volume-based ranks, which means it doesn't really matter up until this point how you've placed people. Under different people that may be your friend groups or sisters or brothers or family or whatever it might be. But however it's placed, you're moving through these ranks is strictly built around the overall volume, which is you and your downline. And if there's any, and for everyone listening, if you've got any questions, just pop them in the chat, or in fact, we're a small enough group, just unmute yourself and ask away. But otherwise, put them in the chat and Anna can ask it. So just feel free to stop me as we go, so that we don't go past any points that don't make sense for anybody. Whenever I do these kind of trainings, I always say to everyone, the only dumb questions are the ones that you leave here with unanswered. So, don't be afraid, because you can guarantee it. If you're thinking of a question and you go, I don't want to ask this because it seems really dumb, 3 other people on the call are thinking the same thing, but for wanting the same kind of a bit of information. So don't feel afraid to do that. So long before we get to elite though, and there's 3,000 in OV, we really do want to be structuring our team for these other ranks and placing in a certain way, because you can get to elite and have 3,000 overall volume, but then not have any volume structured into the 2 teams that you need to move to the next rank, which is Premier. And you can find yourself kind of waiting a long time to get to that next rank, because you've got all this volume, but it's kind of scattered out long and thin across your first level or 2 levels or 3 levels even, but it's not consolidated in any organized way that would help you to move past it. Because after elite, all of the ranks are based on volume plus qualifying teams or qualifying groups of people. So the next one is Premier, and that requires you to have 5,000 overall volume and 2 teams of executive, which is 2,000 in each one, right? So you're there and 2 people that you've personally enrolled that have 2,000 in overall volume below them. So the best time to kind of work out who they are is really early on in the journey, if you can, and get those people close to you, and put them either on your first or second level, hopefully not too deep, because it does impact how you get paid your uni level commissions later on, but we won't get bogged down in that. Annie, you just unmuted.
Yes, I'd love to know a couple of your ideas on when you say get to know who those people are early on. Can you give us some prompts on that? How do we figure out who that might be?
Yeah, look, I think the biggest mistake that people make is they don't ask the question. They don't ask for builders. They don't ask people to join them in this pursuit. They go about kind of collecting customers and think, well, I'm building my doTerra business. And you are, but you are building it in the long, slow, linear way. And what I mean by long, slow, linear is you get a customer, you get them on loyalty rewards, you get the next customer, you get them on loyalty rewards, you get the next customer, you get them on loyalty rewards. But there's only one of you. You've only got so many hours in a day. So there is a limit to how fast you can go or how big you can make that over in a period of time. So you'll either find that advancement in rank and income takes a long time, or you just don't get enough advancement that you feel like this is not working for me. Maybe I'm not that good at this. Maybe it's me, blah, blah, blah. Or you can do what some people do and blame doTerra or blame network marketing or say essential oils are rubbish, no one cares about them anymore, or whatever it is. and then you tend to go nowhere after that, right? Now, we know we've got the best essential oils. We know doTerra is amazing, so it can't be those. So the only other common denominator is us. So we have to look in the mirror and go, what is it that we're doing? So I think asking the question, Anna, is the answer early. So in the wellness business launch, I'll give you an example. We've got a new lady, Laurel, who some of you might have met in there and seen her. I know, Anna, you would have seen her at some point along the journey there. So the second iteration of the wellness business launch, which is our 3-month kind of onboarding training container, for want of better words, where we deliver personalized training to help them onboard and get all these things right from the beginning. We invited the ones from the first one that completed that to bring people into the second one, to bring their own builders in. So she has 3 of her own builders in the second one. She's only in her 3rd month with doTerra, and she's got 3 builders. Those 3 builders, some of them have already enrolled their first builder. So we're 4 months into the journey actually for Laurel, and she's got 5 or 6 builders in her team that have all joined to come and do this doTerra business. And they're all on level 1, 2, and 3, directly under each other. So that's powerful, because now Laurel feels like she's got all these partners that are wanting to do this with her. And then the main ones that she's brought on, they feel like, oh, I've got this support from above, but I've also got this growth from below, someone else already in my team, already taking action, enrolling people. So it's not just all on me. So immediately there's this feeling of, oh, I'm doing this in collaboration with others. It feels so much better. It doesn't feel so slow and linear. It becomes exponential, especially if you continue to leverage it month after month by each new sharer. If you want to do this with us, you bring on sharers. That's what you do, like the beginning. Get them on a 3-way call. Let us help explain how it works, and so on. So for you guys on this call, Anna's amazing at that. If Anna ever needed it, as would any of you, you've always got access to Vanessa and I as well. But bring your people to someone who can talk the talk, like Anna can very, very well, and let her help you to onboard them successfully. So,
and the great thing is that we've got the Wellness Business Launch as a reoccurring program that we can then invite people into. So everyone here is doing it or has done it, has a taste of it at least, and then can do it with the people that you welcome in. Yeah.
Yeah, so that container is going to be ongoing. But our expectation at this stage is we'll bring the next iteration, the next lot on in July. So, we just kind of keep having this rolling cycle that people go through it, and by the end of it, they're bringing on their own people into the next one, and they're there to help coach and mentor people. And really what that does is also help solidify the knowledge that they learned in their first in their cycle of doing the wellness business launch by helping someone else through it. We often learn the best by teaching others, right? So, but it's powerful because it's really literally duplication in action. It's actually happening, from one quarter to the next. It's getting this growth of new sharers. So is everyone cool? Everyone kind of understanding everything up until Premier and how that works and how that looks? Yep.
Yeah.
Now, the personally enrolled people that you've got to have at the top of those 2 legs of 2,000 don't have to be on your front line. I just want to clarify that. So it could be someone on your 2nd or 3rd level that you've enrolled who decides to go for it and build a business. So don't feel like you're locked in, like, oh, if I don't get it right in week 1 and enroll the first people I'm going to put on my front line, I've buggered it, and I've stuffed it up and I can't succeed. There's never a block. The business is pretty forgiving, I think, in this regard. So that's pretty simple. Let me get to the next part here. All right. So after that, we've got silver.
Oh, sorry,
Is
Paul. Got a question before you
Yeah.
go on. So Emma's asking, Emma Bliss, would you recommend putting it out there that you are looking for builders? For example, I have a mailing list of 300 plus people.
Emma, great question. I absolutely would kind of put it that way. We use that term builder as kind of like an internal terminology that I probably wouldn't use because people might not understand what you're asking for or what you mean. But I would say I'm looking for partners, or I'm looking for collaborators, or something like that, to help build an amazing wellness business together. Work around your own kind of commitments and family and all those kind of things. I'm having the best time doing it. I'm so glad that I have. Here's all the reasons why: amazing community, amazing income opportunity, amazing product, amazing service, all the things that you feel that it is. And really what you've got to be pitching there, though, is you're not pitching for them to join you, to say yes to that ask. You're pitching them coming to a conversation with you to learn more about it. that's what you should ask for in the first kind of pitch, if you like, because that's not a big ask, is it? If I'm saying, hey, Julie, I'm doing this doTerra thing, and I've just been thinking for ages that you'd be perfect for this. And, I'm so glad that we started. It's made such a difference for us and our family. With all this increasing cost of living that's creating such stress for everybody, I'm just not feeling that the way that I might have been if I hadn't started doTerra. So I'm so glad I have that as an ally for me and for our family financially. But on top of that, I'm really enjoying and loving the community and the connections, and these women that I'm working with. They're amazing. And I just keep feeling that you would be amazing in this space. So what I was wondering is if you'd be open to having a conversation with me about what it looks like to do it, just to decide if it is for you or not. Is that something that you'd be open to?
100%.
Right. And now this is recorded, so you can get the transcript afterwards and script yourself and train yourself away, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So to put it in Julie speak, right? Whatever that sounds like, you obviously, if you don't say babe or you don't say darling, or if you don't say, whatever, then don't use those words. However you talk is how you do it, right? So it comes across as authentic and real from you to them. But find a reason why you think it would empower them or be good for them. Like I just gave you an example of the cost of living and income and bills and petrol and all those things. It might be something else for different people. Maybe they hate their job and they want to get out of that toxic environment and do something different and new. There's someone nodding on the screen there with a big smile on her face. I don't know who you might be. But if I was Anne-Marie, I would pitch it there. I'd say, Anne-Marie, I love you. And I know that you've talked about your job for forever and a day. And it's like, it's not your happy place, is it? And it's like, so if nothing changes, nothing changes. So what if we could do something part-time around your commitments there, just so you can still make a living and pay the bills and do the thing, that we could slowly create something for you that would allow you at some point in the future when you feel safe and ready to be able to step away from that into something of your own. That is something that's inspiring with a community of empowering, wonderful, amazing women. Is that something that you'd be open to just having a conversation with me about? We can have a coffee. I'll talk you through it. And if it's for you, it's for you. And if it's not, we're still best friends. No harm, no foul. But, is it something you'd be open to at least just having a conversation with me to explore whether it might be for you, whether it's now or whether it's in the future? At least you know what the options are. How does that sound? Well, if she says no, I just can't see people saying no to that. It's like, and they don't. We're using this in our team, and it's working really well to invite them. So I would say invite them early. So back to Emma's question of your mailing list, yes, you can kind of pitch it in the mailing list kind of email there. But I would also keep the invitation at that level fairly like small commitment. So you're not saying, hey, come join me, build a business today, say yes or no in the email by reply. You don't want to do that. You want to kind of like make it an easy thing for them to go step by step. And then all you're selling is a meeting. And the next meeting allows you to discuss a bit more what it looks like and show them after asking a bunch of questions about them. So you start to understand what their needs are in life, how this might fit in for them, how it might work for them, right? And then they start to see themselves in it, and then it makes sense. Does that make sense for everyone here? Are you getting that? Emma is here. All right. Great question, though, Emma. Thanks for that. So then Silva and Vanessa's joined. She's on the background there, but she's going to talk to you about the energy of these, ranks and how you carry an energy around them, right? But there is 100% a level of belief that you need to rise to as you rise through these ranks. And for like elite, it's belief in the product. As you're just sharing the product and you're maybe bringing on your first sharers, a lot of it is around feeling like, wow, these products and oils are amazing and they're just going to be game changing. I'm really happy that I'm here. And then at Premier, it's the belief in the company. The biggest stumbling block we often find is people moving from Premier to Silver. And Premier is you and two legs, two teams of 2,000 that you can get to, reasonably quickly. Silver is where it spreads a little bit wider because it's 3 teams, and each of those teams has to be elite, so 3,000 in each team. And the top of those teams, or the qualifying person that you're qualifying on, has got to be your own personal enrollment still. So it's now 9,000 in volume because that's what 3 times 3,000 adds up to, right? And this is the point where the belief at this level is actually about belief in yourself. And the belief in yourself is actually about belief in the product. And the top of those teams, or the qualifying person that you're qualifying on, has got to be your own personal enrollment still. So it's now 9,000 in volume because that's what 3 times 3,000 adds up to, right? And this is the point where the belief at this level is actually about belief in yourself. And this is one of the hardest ones for people to arrive at, right? Because we're all very good at believing in other people, showing belief in our children or showing belief in our family or whatever it is, or each other. But often it's our self-belief that is the one that really needs the work. So I just want to kind of flag that now. If you want to get to silver, you got to start seeing yourself as a leader. And this is also where we start getting leadership pool shares paid as part of our commissions, right? Which is a percentage of the global doTerra sales each month are put aside and shared amongst the silvers and above. So when you get here, you start to get rewarded for your efforts, not just directly in enrolling and getting people on the loyalty rewards and getting rewarded in direct relationship to each person you bring on and on board, but you actually get a percentage of global profit each month at this level, which is awesome. So this is where you start to get residual income, and all the small efforts that you make, like being on these calls and mentoring people and coaching them and all that kind of stuff, starts to get rewarded from these leadership pool shares. And then gold, we just turn those 3 elites help them grow into premiers, right? And then at platinum, we help each of those premiers do what you've done and grow into silver, right? So you'll start to see that there is there's a pattern to these ranks, right? And it starts back here. Actually, if we go back a little, it starts here at elite. Really, is the building blocks of doTerra. So get yourself to elite. That's 3,000, right? Build 3 elites. That gets you to silver. Turn those 3 elites into silver, like you just did for yourself, and you get to platinum, right? So really, platinum is 3 silvers with 9 elites underneath, 3 each. So elites are the building blocks. So it's like helping people get to that. What's also great about that, and you will encounter a lot of these, Emma, for your mailing list question, you'll encounter a lot of them that maybe the pitch for some of them is you're already buying your doTerra products and you love them. How about if I could just help you get them for free? I know you're not up for doing this business like I am and you've got your cup full and all the things, but if I could show you a way where we could kind of just connect your community and help them the same way we've been able to help you with some of the doTerra range, without it being a big kind of imposter in your life in terms of time and effort and that kind of stuff, but you'd be rewarded enough doTerra cash that you wouldn't have to pay for any of your wellness products, is that a discussion you'd be open to having with me? So you can pitch it at different levels based on who you think the person is and how much time commitment or how much, kind of bandwidth they would have to join you, right? And often we find that if people start out sharing, sort of getting some wins and enjoying it, they start finding more hours to do more doTerra. So it's really interesting, the ones that, I don't have any time, if they fall in love with it, they find the time, right? So diamond is adding 1 more leg, so adding the 4th silver, right? And then we start to get a little more complicated. We've got to turn those 4 silvers into golds and add 1 more, which gets to blue diamond. And then the top of the thing is presidential diamond. So 6 platinum teams. Each of those platinums has 3 silvers. Each of those silvers has 3. Makes 6 platinums, makes 1 presidential diamond. Okay. So the great part about this is that when you're in a team, like you guys all are, of people that are invested in each other's success. See, no one can get to these ranks on their own. You can only do it with the support of the team. You can only do it together, right? You cannot get to even past elite. Elite you can get to by yourself, just enrolling. But if you want to get to premier, you have 2 people who want to start to build this with you. Now, you could just enroll 2 people and then just fill up their legs for them. But then what happens is you spend all of your time doing this slow linear growth, and it takes you years to get to premier and to silver, right? Because you're the only one enrolling in your team. I see someone nodding on the call who's been down this road before. So we don't want to do that, right? So we want to do it with partners because it's faster, it's more fun, there's far greater success involved, and exponential growth is possible when you kind of do it. So divide and conquer is the game, right? Guys, like trying to do it by yourself is a long, slow boat to China, and doing it with partners is funner, it's faster, it's more successful. It's just, I cannot iterate how much importance you should place on acquiring and onboarding new sharers and builders into your team. If you can do that, that's winning. If you can get there, that's what's going to change the game for you. Does that help kind of, Anna, is there anything else you want me to cover on the ranks and placements and structuring, etc.?
That helps a lot. I think visually, sometimes it's nice to see diagrams and stuff, but we can Google search that. And
I've got those for you right
oh,
here.
you got
So
it?
if you want,
Okay.
yeah. So if you want to see those visually, manager, director, executive, elite is all just volume, but then premier, it's you plus a couple of people there that you've enrolled and helped build 2,000 in volume. Silver, it's 3 times 3,000. Gold looks like this. So yourself here. Then, oops, go back, Polly. Then you have 3 premiers personally enrolled to you. Again, these might not be on your first line. The first 2 might, and the third one might actually not be this person. It could be this person here that goes to premier, and they've got 2 legs of 2,000 underneath them. So long as you're the personal enroller of this person here, you can rank off anybody on any level. Okay. And then platinum looks like that. So I talked you through 3 silvers. Each of those silvers has 3 elites, right? So platinum really is 9 elites, 3 silvers, 1 platinum. And then diamond, we're just adding 1 more silver to that platinum. So that's what platinum looks like with 3 silvers and 9 elites. Here it's 4 silvers and 12 elites. Okay. So this is the journey to go to, and this is where the income number here is actually a little bit outdated. The income level at diamond is more like between 15 and 17,000. Diamond still, blue diamond is really quite accurate still, about the $35,000 mark, 5 golds, 15 premiers, and 30 executives underneath. And this might be sort of feeling like a light years away for you all, but just getting really all I want you to feel for this is that the potential is huge and it's relatively unlimited. We reached presidential diamond when our upline was gold. So the person that's above you does not dictate how far you can go here. Your ceiling is dictated by you and what you do. And all it's predicated upon is you guys duplicating out the simplest rank of all, which is elite. So down here, you see all these little circles all the way along here. They're all elites, 54 elites, 18 silvers, and 6 platinums to get to that level. So my kind of guidance and advice is go for continually bringing on sharers. And what we've found, something that was super successful the whole journey through, and we're actually kind of back at it right now, is actually getting yourself a builder and a sharer and then finding another one. So they can find one of their own, but then you find another one to place under their builder or sharer. So you're layering builders and sharers under builders and sharers. So there's this feeling of progression. There's this feeling of action and energy in the team and things happening all the time. So no one feels like, oh, unless I do something, nothing ever happens in this business. They're always feeling like, wow, I didn't even do much this week, and there's 5 new enrollments in the team. There's 5 new customers here. That's awesome. So, and I got fast start. I got fast start this week, and I didn't even enroll anybody last week. How can that be? Well, that's because you enrolled someone who's enrolling people, right? And maybe if you placed 2 or 3 in the same leg, then you've got 2 or 3 people enrolling people that is supporting your first builder to feel like, hey, there's volume coming into the tree here. There's enrollments coming into the tree here. This is a growing thing. This is fun. This is awesome. So that's one of the things that we always look to do is find people. And we didn't go too wide. I mean, we've always kind of had the number of legs that we needed for that rank. And then when we were ready, it's like, or we knew that it was coming soon. We'd like, right, let's start the next leg now and get ready for that. And this one's nearly there. Going to take a little more time, but now we looked for people of real go-getter type quality for the frontline positions. We didn't want to do that with a lot of kind of placeholders of your mum and your sister and your cousin and the cousin's dog, because really what that does is pigeonholes you forever in that spot of you having to do all the heavy lifting yourself. You'll always do the work, because you're actually, what you're doing then when you put in placeholders and you do that, what you're really choosing is, I'm going to start 3 doTerra businesses at once, mine plus 2 other people's, and cut myself up in 3 ways. And then we wake up one morning and wonder why it's been slow and it's been unsuccessful, because there's only one of you, right? So rather than try and chop yourself up, replicate yourself with new people, duplicate yourself with others, right? Pass the knowledge on, empower them, show them how, And that often means demonstrating for them initially, like doing it kind of for them, but with them there, so they're learning, and then empowering them to start taking on some parts of it, and then going, hey, it's time for mum to kick you out of the nest. You've got this. You're ready to go, and then they take over. So that's a really, really important thing. How's it work when you take someone else's position? I know that a lot of my team are personally enrolled with a person in this particular talk. They're listed as being enrolled by someone in my downline. Yeah, so Emma, that's a good question. I guess what it is do the very best you can to make the relationships, do the reaching out and make the relationships. We've seen that work successfully before. You're witnessing it right now in this team because Anna has taken a position of someone and she's doing an amazing job. In fact, we had a conversation today with Tash, Anne-Marie's one, right, as well, where they're like, thank God for Anna. And she's new to the team and they didn't know her at all from a bar of soap. So, some will say, yes, I'm open for the connection. Others will say, hey, I'm good, but thanks for reaching out. Others will say nothing, and that's fine. All your job is to open the door and let them know that it's there and that they can walk through any time. But new people, right? Get the new ones of your own. Just because you took over a position where there's some volume there, it doesn't kind of absolve you of the opportunity or responsibility to go out and find your own people. So go at that as if they're there, the ones that are there and willing to run with you, let them run with you. The ones that aren't, fine, start another leg or put one on the front line of that and go for it. Okay. So Nessa's having a problem with the internet, but she's just saying she's hope you can hear her when she gets started here. Nessa, are you on your iPad?
I'm here.
That's not good.
But
Are you in our?
Can you hear me? Anyone?
We can on and off. Are you in our room?
Yeah.
Move to Dad's. The internet's so much stronger.
Oh gosh. Okay, give me a second.
That's what I found. No, so we've got a new apartment and it's kind of like long and linear. So Vanessa, she's gone right down to the quiet end of the house because my dad's watching football, which is his favourite thing to do. But obviously it's going to be hard for Vanessa to have a Zoom and do that, right? But she might be able to do it with...
Otherwise, we could try for next week, if that's better.
I'm sure it'll be okay. Once
See how we go.
I've had to do it. So that's how I learned that it's Dad's room is like one room closer to the zone where the internet is. So next week will be a big week. They're all big weeks. Was there anything else there? Honor ourselves with our time and boundaries and show them how to do themselves. Absolutely, Julie. Good wisdom there. Any other questions?
I wanted to point out that last diagrams you showed with the circles. Yep. I love printing them out and having that not only as a tracker that you can update, like with the volumes in the circles and the people's names particularly, but it's also like a vision board that you can vision people into those circles and and then
you can have a question mark inside of a circle or a love heart, or you might just put instead of a question mark, you might put some of the attributes of the kind of leader you want to attract. I want to kind of attract a motivated, self-starting, great communicating, independent, kind of powerful, well-networked, like whatever it is that you want to attract, right? And it's amazing where you start. If you go, Julie, to sharesuccess.com, that's Andy and Natalie Goddard's page. All the tools are in there. You'll find those kind of ranking pages that you can print and download from there.
Awesome. That sounds amazing. I love that idea.
Yeah. And I do it. We whiteboard it. There's another thing as well, big whiteboard. So we can even just have all the names there and just upgrade the volumes on there, because there's something about seeing it visually and writing it down that's more important than just having it in a spreadsheet. Now, I recently shared a tool with Anna, so she's got a spreadsheet to track, but when it's the people that you're kind of qualifying on, that you're working really closely with, now there's no whiteboard big enough to put our 60,000 people on, right? We're not doing that. We're just doing the main kind of core 2 or 3 layers of qualifiers, or people that we're really actively working with to mentor and help and support. Some of them might not even be our enrollment, but they might be down level 6 or 7, but we've got their tree so we can see it. And we go, right, I'm working with these people. So that's really helpful as well. Are you there now, Ness? If she relocated, she's still on mute. Anyway, while we're waiting for her, any other questions we have about that so far, what we've covered? Oh, Crystal? There she is.
It's not working. Oh God. Hang on. Hang on.
I don't know what the oh God piece was, but anyway, she'll be back in a sec. This is the moment where you guys all think, yeah, it's so easy for Paul and S, everything just works for them, and their life is so easy for them. And no, we go through the same shit you do. So,
We get to see the real deal.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes I think it's good that you see that things can be, just authentic and messy, and that's how it is. I've always been, I would prefer kind of dirty and done than waiting for perfect, because perfect, waiting for perfect doesn't get anything, doesn't get you anywhere. So I'd rather people be taking action that's imperfect, but taking action nonetheless, because that creates the opportunity for some result, whereas waiting for perfect is nothing. You there, babe?
Oh God, yes. I think the whole internet went down because his footy went off and everything went off, and I couldn't make this work. Anyway, okay.
You're there. You sound good.
This is
it's all clear.
real life, everyone.
That's what I just said. Yeah.
We get to see the real deal. Vanessa, you're nice and clear now. Thank you. And thank you for joining us. We're really looking forward to this. So yes, take a moment and then
So when Anna told me what she wanted, she referred back to a convention of 103 years
about
ago.
9 years ago, I think, something like that.
And I was like, how the fuck with my menopausal brain am I going to remember anything, like let alone a non-menopausal brain of that? So I had a mini freak out. So just letting you know, this happens to all of us. And I'm like, shit, like I really want to do this justice, but what do I do? So I did what I do, and I sat down, and I can't show you my writing pad because it's here in front of me that I'm just about to grab just from there. But I wrote. I just wrote and wrote and wrote and wrote. So I'm probably just going to read what I wrote because it was channeled, and I don't even know if it goes in alignment with Andy and Natalie's beautiful belief summit, but go with that because they're amazing. But this is what I have for you. Okay? This is just from my humble heart. All right. So I'm going to read it, you guys, because it's just easier. And then I'm going to take you into close your eyes down so you can feel it. So what I wanted to tap into, what Anna wanted me to connect you with, was the energetics of leadership through the doTerra ranks. So I've just done it till diamond. We can do BD and PD later, right? How many people here have the goal, the long-term goal, to get to diamond as like that ultimate pinnacle? Just put a yeah, right. I can see you. Okay, good. If you can put in the chat what rank you're going for by the end of this year, that would be really helpful to us. By the end of this year, I mean. Okay, so because what we're looking at here is way more than, there's so much more happening with the doTerra ranks and volume and structure and numbers, right? We're dealing with real people here every single day. Every rank pulls something out of us. It asks something different of us, right? It's calling us to align, to realign, to take out the garbage, right? As you do that each time, you allow the spaciousness for someone else to walk in. And every level stretches us. Like, I can't even emphasize that enough. It stretches us so much. But it stretches our identity, the who am I question, Copaiba, right? The I am that I am, and what is the I am? The Copaiba call to know thyself. It's really calling you into knowing yourself every time you rank. And your nervous system also gets stretched. Like, what is my capacity right now that I want to meet? I'm not anywhere near the capacity I was the first time round when we built to PD. Nowhere near it. But then in other ways, I'm leagues ahead because I'm so much more regulated. I've spent the majority of our doTerra career, unbeknownst to me, on the menopause journey, which is wild to me because it's been a decade and we're in our 13 years we've just had. So coming into our 14th year of doTerra, right? So it stretches us. And you know what? It calls us to look at who we are as leaders and to mature in our leadership, our self-trust, our ability to hold our vision. Your vision through the seasons is imperative because your seasons hold periods of growth, of challenge, including rejection. And those rejections bring you closer to the next yes and next aha moment. These milestones aren't just normal milestones that businesses experience because to me, they're initiations. They're initiations into deeper levels of service, stewardship, embodiment, expansion. I feel like it's like an apprenticeship, a spiritual apprenticeship. Okay, so is anyone here elite every month? Just put a yes in the chat if anyone is here elite every month, like with no problem. Right. So Natasha's, I think, the only one really, and that's Skin and Sage there. That's Natasha. So other than Anna, of course. But what I want you to know is you all get told this is the milestone. Let's tune into the frequency of elite. Can we do that? Can you close your eyes down? And I want you to just be aware of an essential oil or a blend that walks towards you at any point as I take you on this journey. So take a deep breath and feel your belly rise. And as you exhale, just let yourself fall more deeply into yourself. Elite represents a rank of belief because it takes someone from where they are trying to do things, trying to do the business, trying to even understand what the business means, to deciding they are truly building it. Energetically, a lead is asking a person to step into personal responsibility and ownership. So it's often that first level where someone realizes they can't wait to feel fully confident before taking action. They understand that they need to take action before they're ready. The greatest shift at a lead is moving from consuming to creating. And the co-creation comes even more deeply later in the ranks. But from right now, it's from consuming to creating. So you're a lover of the products and the essential oils, and you're consuming them. You're using them in everyday life. And now you're looking at creating. You're looking at blessing people. So instead of endlessly feeling like you need to learn and watch and wait or believe the doubts that arise, the elite business partner begins to take imperfect action often and consistently. They begin speaking more boldly about the products, inviting more courageously, They follow up more intentionally and share their own story without apology. Julie, I'm going to give you all the notes, honey, all the notes. It's really powerful to just keep your eyes closed and sit with it. And I understand that this might be counterintuitive to a lot of learning styles. Mine is writing as well, actually, to soak it in, but you can watch the recording. I want you to really feel this transmission because this was channeled. So just let this flow through you. So at Elite, you begin sharing your story unapologetically. You are learning to story tell. It's not about perfection. It's just about sharing that with others. Elite often exposes fears of visibility and rejection, judgment, not being enough, those wounds that often people told us that aren't even in our life anymore. It's where many people either collapse back into comfort, which is really freaking uncomfortable, to be honest. The 9 to 5 grind, the whatever it is that was perceived as comfort, that was as uncomfortable as anything. And it's the very thing that had you deciding to do doTerra in the first place. Or it has people decide that they're willing to become someone new. So decide now, what are you willing to do? Are you just going to drop back into what was comfortably uncomfortable at the first sign or signs of pressure or challenge or rejection? Or are you going to constantly, consistently say yes to becoming someone new, to stepping into the version of you that you are choosing to be as a doTerra partner with us? The energetics of Elite require consistently being consistent over consistently being tied up with your emotions and letting your emotions dictate everything. Emma, your smile is so peaceful there with that. Something landed for you, right? So notice that. So just take a deep breath, everyone. Just feel that moving through your body. With Elite, you are required to learn. You need to show up to the Zooms, to the trainings, to all the learning platforms. It requires learning that motivation is not the thing that builds momentum, though. You need to get that. Motivation isn't enough. Yes, okay, we need to feel motivated. We need our will forces to be invited to help move us forward. But that's not what's going to take you to rank. Consistency, consistent, imperfect action is what takes you there. Movement, inspired action builds momentum. So just breathe that in. An elite leader begins to understand that they're not simply selling oils. They're learning to hold space and to solve problems. Just the beginnings of that, right? They're learning to support people, as you do your wellness consults and invite them to the rewards program. And they become a stabilizing presence for others. You become the person they turn to. And you get a feel for what that's like for you. So this rank is deeply connected to self-worth because many people unconsciously cap their growth according to what they believe they deserve. So a little mantra or affirmation you can say behind a lead is, I can do this. My voice matters. What I carry has value. You could say my story has value, like a variation on a theme. Okay? So just open your eyes and write down anything that came to you from that, from listening or how you're feeling now. And if there's an essential oil that wants to be your ally as you move to Elite, write that down. It can be a blend that you make or a blend doTerra has. Oh, yeah, of course you did, Tash. Spikenard's perfect for this. And you know, it's that initiation oil coming into your priestess self, coming into your, you know, the crone self, coming into the remembrance of who you are, and being that unabashedly, right? It's really interesting because when Mary Magdalene bathed the feet of Christ in spikenard, it was part of that initiation. You know, she knew that they knew he was coming to his death without even maybe consciously knowing it, right? But one of the apostles, I can't remember who it was, said, "Why would you bathe his feet in nard? It is so precious, so expensive. Like, that's outrageous. You spend all your savings on that, blah, blah, blah." And she said, quite simply, "Why wouldn't I? Is he not worth it? Is his ministry unto us not worth it?" And that question from Nard, from Spike Nard, comes to each of us. Are you not worth it? Why not? Why not be that best version of yourself? Invest everything you have into the becoming of who you were born to be. So that takes us into Premiere. So if you close your eyes down, Premiere, like finish writing what you need to if you need to do that. But Premiere, yeah, beautiful, Emma. Premiere has now some structure to it. Elite is just that 3,000 volume. It can be anywhere. It can be all on your front line. But Premiere, you need 2 branches of your tree of love now to have a minimum of 2,000 each. However, Premiere requires 5,000. So where's that extra 1,000 coming from? Right? So Premiere then takes us into being the rank of expansion, of capacity. So breathe those words in. The leader is not only thinking about themselves, they're beginning to think in terms of their team, the structure, the duplication, the systems, supporting others to rise with them. Premier and Silver happen, my loves, when you actually speak with the people who have said yes to sharing or actively sharing, or yes, even to be a partner with you, and to help them realize their goals as you realize yours. This rank often stretches emotional capacity because growth now involves people, personalities, clear communication, expectations, and leadership under pressure. People have to have their loyalty rewards program orders going. You don't want to be relying solely on enrollments for this rank. You could go elite in 1 month, let's be honest. You could do it in 1 class if enough people ordered. Premier, though, you need some structure. Right? So as you close your eyes, I want you to imagine that premier structure. There you are, big love heart. And then there's 2 branches or 2 legs beneath you, 2 more love hearts, and they are saying yes to you. So Premier asks for that leader to become more organized, more intentional, more disciplined. This is where time blocking becomes really important. Follow-up becomes important. Consistency becomes important. At this level, success can no longer rely purely on inspiration or bursts of motivation or your own personal enrollments. This is where rhythm becomes essential. What is that rhythm going to look like and feel like for you? What's the song that's singing through your organization at this level? Energetically, Premier often exposes people pleasing, the people pleasing tendencies, right? Well, it certainly did for me. And the need for external validation. And that, to be honest, is still something I struggle with, because if we didn't get it growing up from certain key people, we are going to look for it in this business. It brings up our oldest wounding. And I notice in me, for full transparency here, how ashamed I feel of that. the tears I shed over it, how much shame I have. Why do I need that? I don't need that. I don't feel I need that. But then the little girl in me goes, but I just need that. Do you see me? So be aware that at that level of premier, that stuff comes up, my loves, and it can last for your whole journey through the ranks. And at each level and each partner that says yes to you, you're called to be truer to yourself and to be more of yourself and to heal those parts of yourself. Because leaders begin learning that not everyone will stay and not everyone will understand the vision and not everyone will move at the same pace. And this can be really confronting, even if they've said, yes, 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 me, right? And they've said all the right things and made all the right squeaks. The premier leader learns to stop taking everything personally. You begin to learn, I should have said there. The beginning of that learning starts. And this rank also asks someone to begin believing bigger. You're believing for something bigger. Now maybe you start to have that seed that's there, that's germinating on legacy business. My name is Julie and I am building a legacy business. My name is Emma, and I am all in for legacy creation. Right? So now you're believing for something bigger. It asks the leader to stop seeing success as luck or coincidence and instead has you to begin recognizing that you are capable of something far greater, of results repeatedly through leadership and service. This is where you get repeated results. Enrollments, bringing people onto the loyalty rewards program, business partnerships, casual sharers, all of that starts to come through. One or two here or there begins to grow. As long as you keep your eye on the main prize here, which is it's a legacy business, which means you cannot lose sight of rank, because rank is what's going to take you there. For the biggest earning potential, for the biggest blessing potential, for the biggest joy potential. Premier carries the energetics of building trust within yourself. Now, this is a big one. Can you trust yourself enough to do this, to create this, to co-create this with two other people who are standing by your side? It's where many leaders learn how to continue leading even when their emotions fluctuate, when confidence dips or circumstances feel uncertain. The belief behind Premier could be something like, I am capable of creating momentum and helping others rise with me. I am capable of creating momentum and help others rise with me. So just notice what essential oil or blend comes to you for this rank. And if you want to open your eyes and jot down any notes and write down the oils, go for it before we move into silver. Oh, wow. I can see that. I mean, MetaPower is for your metabolic system, helps you to metabolize the poison, the rejections, the feeling within you of not being enough, of doubt, but also to metabolize all the goodness and the blessings that touch you. Because all the good stuff can be overwhelming for us as well. I love that you've got MetaPower there, Em. I really feel like you today speaking and me avoiding confrontation. I need to ask uncomfortable questions. Oh, yeah, that's beautiful, Tash. Thank you for that. Oh, wow. And Melissa as well, Julie. Powerful. She's the oil of light, illumination, Okay, close your eyes down. Let's go silver. Is this okay, everyone? We're going to go a bit over time. Yep, we're feeling all right. Amore, do you need to get off?
No. I'm just saying, yeah, everyone's complaining so loudly in the chat. They just want to get off. It's no good at all, but
Oh,
they're loving it. I've been watching all the faces actually with the eyes closed, and it's like or they got the face with the eyes closed, but the nods are like, yep, that's me.
Right.
Yep. So you're nailing
Good.
it. Keep going. Do your thing.
Hmm. Okay, so let's drop into silver, because we talk about silver being the first true leadership mile, right? Because it's the first rank where duplication is clearly established. We're now duplicating elites, right? We're now receiving more for all of the work we've done to date financially, but also in terms of the number of people in our organizations. This rank is where leadership becomes real, because silver asks a person to stop operating as an individual achiever and begin operating as a leader of leaders. Let that land. Operating as a leader of leaders. How does that feel when you feel that in your bones? Think about yourself as a leader of leaders, my loves. My heart smiles when I think of that. The energetics of silver are deeply connected to trust, release, and multiplication. We need to trust in ourselves, trust in those rising stars that we're bringing up, trust in the systems, release old, outdated patterns and doubts and comments. And that is constant. I shared with you one of mine. I have many doubts about myself that arise in different seasons, right? And then the multiplication, trust in these multiplication, the wellness business launch we do, the systems you guys put into place, like whatever it is, trust. It's really, really coming into those three areas: trust, release, multiplication. Many people struggle at this level because they unconsciously try to control everything. They don't want to surrender and trust. That's part of the release, relinquishing the need to control everything and everyone. Let them be who they are. Right? Do you want to be told what to do? Do you want to be micromanaged? No. You want direction. Of course, you want to know how to best do this and how to best make the most of your time. But Julie doesn't want me to micromanage everything she does and tell her, report to me before you do anything. It's a horrible feeling. That says straight up, I don't trust you. You have to run it all past me first. Right? So silver teaches us that true growth comes through empowering others, not carrying everyone. And I will add to that, not enrolling everyone yourself, not having to transfer everyone to the loyalty rewards program yourself. You need to have the people you sponsor the person under help you with all of that. That's what a sponsor is there to do, to help you, to help those customers and rising stars. This rank asks a leader to become emotionally steady. Teams begin watching how the leader responds under pressure, disappointment, setbacks, cancellations, slow months, high months, fast months, growth seasons, right? All of it. Silver leadership is less about perfection and more about energetic stability, because we have the three fundamental people here that we're working with. And whether they're on your front line or lower down, it doesn't matter. It's three people fundamentally that you're working with very closely, and they hold the foundational ranks of elite. So this is very much about that stability, energetically and literally. A silver leader learns that leadership is not about being the loudest voice in the room. It's about creating safety, helping others to see the vision, to hold the belief, and consistency for others as well. Consistency is huge across all the ranks, right? But this rank stretches communication skills, mentorship capacity, the ability to see potential in people before they see it in themselves. And this is where it's really good. Like Emma, Connie, Anne Marie, any of you might say, hey, I've got someone who wants to join us in the business. Can you come on a call with us, Anna and Vanessa or Paul? Can you join me? And then you learn how to do one of those onboarding calls, questions to ask, or what to do. You have the humility to reach out and ask for what you need, so you can continue to expand into being the best version of yourself. And energetically, silver often requires healing scarcity patterns because that's what's going to help you leap into the gold area, gold and platinum arena, right? So the leader must genuinely celebrate others winning. They must release comparison, competition, the fear of not being enough. Silver is where people begin embodying abundance, that energy of bergamot, right? That rich abundance and the joy with abundance. And more deeply, as we embody that abundance more deeply, because what's happening is the silver leader is realizing leadership multiplies through contribution, not control, through collaboration, not control, through listening rather than speaking all the time. So a little mantra we could put with belief is, I can create leaders, right? And that moves into, I co-create with my leaders. Because of course the silver can create leaders, but what about if you said, I can co-create leaders, or I co-create leaders, and there's more than enough success for all of us. Or, I co-create with my leaders, with my rising stars, which, that happens more at the gold and above ranks, right? Here you're co-creating with that leadership of the rising stars. So yes, you're helping to create those leaders, but you're doing it with them. It's very different to me just saying, okay, I have Connie, Anne Marie, and Anna on my front line, and I'm just going to fill each of you to 3,000 with enrollments, a few of your own enrollments, and Bob's your ankle, funny's your aunt, you're elite, and now I'm silver. That's you creating leaders. I can create leaders. You can create leaders. But what if you co-created them? Okay, so open your eyes when you're ready. Just write any notes that you want to write down, and the blend or the essential oil single note or your own blend you make for silver, what comes to you? Oh, beautiful. It's one of my favorite blends, Em. I'm obsessed with Adaptive and Shinrin-yoku, and both together. And Citrus Bloom is my third. Adaptive, Citrus Bloom, and Shinrin-yoku. Cedarwood, Bergamot, Melissa. So light, so bright. And cedarwood actually, if you look at the actual cedarwood tree, its branches extends outward. They can be quite flat and go outward. They're reaching out for each other. It's about community, connection. Yeah. Okay, gold. Let's go into it. Who'd love to be gold one day? Sandalwood, Julie. Oh my gosh, yes to sandalwood. Divine alignment. Hearing the divine, feeling that transmission and bringing it through. Who'd love to be gold? Put a yes in the chat. Can you put when you're planning on this? Is it more like a 2027 goal for some of you? Is it the end of 2026? Just put that down. It's really good to get it down in your notes, but also here. 2026 for Julie. Fucking love that gumption, woman. Yes, Anne Marie, 2027. Yes, baby. Okay, let's close, and gotta be golden. Let's bring that transmission through. All right, close your eyes down. Tash, fantastic. I'll hold you to that, buddy. Okay, so gold. Gold is the rank of refinement and identity stabilization. Gold leaders begin realizing that they cannot build long-term success through hustle alone. This level asks for sustainability, embodiment, wisdom, and energetic alignment, because now we have 3 premiers under us. That's structure. We need very clear structure now for the gold. And it's not enough to just have those premiers with 2 executives under them, because they need an overall volume of 5,000. So now we have refinement in converting to loyalty rewards program. At gold, The nervous system becomes incredibly important because leaders who are constantly dysregulated through overworking, hustling, rescuing, doing everything for everyone, operating from urgency, they often struggle to stabilize here. And so gold happens once in a while. It becomes a bit hit and miss. It can be a bit elusive and then come back again, right? But your leaders won't, your rising stars, up and coming leaders won't feel safe if you operate from that way. So gold asks the leaders to become the calm within the movement, or said another way, the eye in the storm. This rank often brings lessons around boundaries, delegation, discernment, energetic stewardship. Yeah, beautiful, Connie, balance and forgive. That stewardship is really important here because, again, this isn't about micromanaging. You're stewards of your own businesses. You steward over the earth. You steward over your customers, helping them to get the best care that they can. The gold leader begins understanding that their energy influences the entire organization beneath them. Their presence matters. Their emotional state matters. Their belief matters. Gold leaders also begin recognizing that duplication is not built through pressure. It's built through clarity, simplicity, culture, vision, and consistency over time. And again, plugging them into the systems that exist. This is often where leadership becomes more elegant. Energetically, gold is asking someone to hold greater visibility and responsibility without collapsing under the weight of it. This is why we talk about elite giving us the strong foundations. When you build from strong foundations, you create through all of the ranks with strong foundations. So many leaders at this stage begin going deeper in their personal healing journey because higher levels of success amplify whatever remains unresolved internally. So the next part of the healing begins, right? The next layer. Gold teaches that leadership isn't about proving, it's about embodying. And what does that mean? I no longer chase success, I embody it. That's the mantra I'd put with that. I no longer chase success, I embody it. And we do that with, working with others. So if you want to open your eyes and just pop in your notes, any oils or blends that come to you to anchor gold, and any reflections. And I can see Connie's written here, gold by the end of 2027. Fantastic. I love that. So powerful. Yeah. Frankincense. Gorgeous, Anna. Oh, Frank in the beautiful blend. Very decadent taste, Julie. Very refined. I like that. Tash has frankincense, wild orange, and lavender. Oh, babes. Come back to that holy trinity. Okay. Platinum. Who can feel platinum and some sort of connection with it? If you can't yet because you're just new to this, that's fine. But pop your platinum rank goal in the chat. And these are moving, it's like by this date, this or something better on or before, right? Sometimes the universe has something better in store for us and it happens sooner. Pop a goal, and it can be a rough goal for timing, Anna. She's probably shitting bricks now. She's on mine and Paul's front line. What year? Do you know how to write a goal? Beginning of October? End of October? Get clear, woman. That's way too woofy for me. I want clarity. Look, she's laughing because she's shitting bricks. We all do this, you know, it's scary. It's really scary. Okay, Anna Foley. Oh no, Anne Marie's saying yes, 2026. As Tash said, my nervous system feels like it needs to go through gold. Absolutely. By 19th of October, 2026, this or something better. That's better. Thank you. Yes, you go to sleep. You go to sleep, Connie. That's fine. I've got 2 more ranks. You can watch the recording. Thanks for being here, sweetie. Okay, closing your eyes down. And let's kind of go into some of the energetics behind platinum. Platinum's the rank of legacy and expansion through vision. Now, why I say this is because Presidential Diamond is all about legacy. It's the legacy you create, it's the legacy you live, and it's the legacy you leave behind. To create Presidential Diamond, you need 6 platinums. So platinums inadvertently become part of this legacy vision. Okay? So platinum leaders are no longer simply building teams. They're building culture, movements, identity, long-term impact. They're working very closely with these key areas. This level requires immense energetic capacity because the leader is now holding multiple leaders, multiple personalities, multiple organizations, and multiple markets or communities often. Markets meaning global. It can start to become a bit global at this rank. The platinum leader learns to think beyond short-term emotion and focus on long-term stability. So energetically, platinum requires a shift from efforting into allowing. Does that make sense? I think I made up the word efforting, but anyway, I make a verb out of most anything. Just kind of putting effort in all the time and trying to freaking hustle and push and pull and just allow. I'm leaving it in my Google Doc because you'll all have a giggle and remember efforting. It's like potting, isn't it? We created this, someone in our team created the word potting, and so we all use that. So now we've got efforting. So just feel that, you know, moving into allowance rather than all the effort laying on your shoulders. This leader begins understanding that force does not create true expansion. Alignment does, trust does, clear vision does. And to be frank with you, expressing that vision is really important too. Having a voice for that vision, being the voice for that vision, being the voice and, you know, the person. This rank often asks someone to fully release old identity patterns around overworking, proving, martyrdom, and hyper-independence. Any of those you can relate to? Right? Platinum leaders who thrive understand the importance of support and systems and mentorship, delegation, protecting their nervous system. They understand the benefit of co-creation. Platinum also carries strong energetics of stewardship. The leader begins asking deeper questions like, what am I building? What values am I multiplying? What culture am I creating? How do people feel around me? What will remain because I was here? And these questions are really good for you to reflect on now because you can kind of become the leader that you want to be at this level, my loves, right? This rank asks someone to become available to greater levels of wealth, visibility, responsibility, influence without disconnecting from humility, service, and heart. I remember when my incredible, amazing amore, Paul Ovens, said one day, I am completely focused right now on humility, on being more humble, on living more humbly. And when my husband decides something, he puts his all into it. And he was already such a phenomenal man. But when he focused on this, something huge shifted. This was before the doTerra business. He decided this, right? And something huge shifted. And he became such a magnet for success and miracles and things unearthing, you know? This rank asks someone to become available for greater levels of this wealth as well. So you have to be comfortable with what wealth means. Wealth financially, wealth with your health, wealth with your mental capacity, with your thoughts, with your creative processes. You need to bust through the glass ceiling of what you thought you could earn. Paul certainly had to. Remember, he tells the story when he saw the levels of earning for Presidential Diamond and Blue Diamond. He's like, that can only be drug money, right? He had to bust out of that because I was like, we're going there, babe. He's like, okay, let's go, you know? So behind belief, we could say something like, I'm here to create lasting impact and expansion beyond myself. I'm here to create lasting impact and expansion beyond myself. Feel free to change these. Like, you know, I could have probably spent more time on some of these affirmations and things, but I just went with what came first. Okay, so just feel into the blend or the essential oil single note, doTerra blend or blend that's coming to you, maybe 3 or 4 or more oils walking towards you. I want you to write that down. And I want you to take any notes and reflections on platinum, because remember the key thing here of what we constantly say to you all: be the leader you want your leaders to be, right? So you might feel like you're nowhere near platinum, but now that you know the energetics behind it, or some of them, that's just my, perspective. It's not all, you'll have your own. Now you can say, okay, that's what I'm striving to expand into. And when we do that, there's grace. There's a grace there. This is what ease and grace means. You bring greater ease and more grace to your life by knowing where you want to go and how you mean to get there. And the way we mean to get there is by peeling the layers, the skins of the onion, so to speak, and by being humble, by asking for help when we need it. Jasmine and Siberian fir is like a heartgasm right there. I love those two. What a beautiful choice. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. In tune with Spark Night again. I feel deep contribution in supporting leaders believe in themselves. Beautiful. Yeah, gorgeous. Okay, we've got the last one. Are you up for it, honeys? Do you want to do diamond together, or are we done? Passion, elevate, and cheerful and cheer. Do you still have some elevation, do you? Elevate, is that what you meant? Elevation? Yeah. Yeah. And that has the Melissa in it again. So Melissa's really speaking to you, Julie. So when you run out of that, just add the Melissa to that. I think it's the Melissa that wants to be injected into this. That's what I'm seeing anyway. Diamond, yay. I actually gave all of my remaining elevations to my childhood best friend, because it's the one blend that really helps her when she hits those dark times, challenging times. She had a cancer journey recently, and she was like, it was like my constant friend, it was her companion through it all.
Yeah.
So we have these oils, that really speak to us, right? Did you want to say something, Julie?
Yeah, I just looked up Melissa before. Biblically, it means honeybee in the Hebrew. So it's attracting, it's sweetness, it's everything that I'm wanting to be more of.
Yes, absolutely. And Julie, the Melissae, they're the priestesses, the Melissae. They work with bee medicine and the heart, and so this is perfect. Okay, let's go into diamond. Are you doing okay, Emma? Have you got a bit of a headache? Or are you okay? Yep, you're all right. All right, honey. Okay. I don't want to rush through this, so I know it's taking some time, but I just don't want to speed read through it. Okay, so close your eyes down, my love, so the screen's not blasting your eyeballs. Diamond. Diamond is beautiful. I just want to begin by saying, in our back office, diamond is this gorgeous aquamarine color. And it's one of my favorite colors on earth. And I remember I couldn't wait to be that color in my back office.
Yep.
Yeah. It's really funny how sometimes, and there are songs, like I would invite you all to think of a song that you want to walk as a diamond with, because when you walk as a diamond, you get to choose a song, and then choose your aromatic anchor to it, your oils, which we'll get to by the end once you hear about diamond. Okay, so diamond, energetics of embodiment, legacy, overflow. Legacy's coming in hot now, right? Because your platinums and diamonds are creating the presidential diamonds. They're helping to create those. There's this overflow, there's this spillover when you go to these ranks. So this rank is rarely achieved through strategy alone. No matter what they tell you, you can have all the strategy up your sleeves and you'll still go, holy fuck balls, that didn't go the way I thought it was going to go, right? This rank requires becoming the kind of person who can energetically hold massive growth, leadership, responsibility, visibility, influence. Man, this is magical, this one. Diamond leaders understand that leadership is energetic before it's tactical. I think if I probably said this to the entire doTerra community, I'd have people arguing with me on that, but I stand by it. Because the diamond's belief influences rooms. It really blesses the multitude, so you've got to be so mindful of what your belief is, of how you are walking and talking. I used to say to my girls, walk and talk and dress like a diamond. Be the diamond from now, from this second, all of you. Be the diamond. Be the leader you want your leaders to be. If you want to be diamond sometime in your career, be the diamond right now. Dress like them, smell like them, get that aromatic anchor on you, have the song that you jig to. Because the presence of a diamond helps bless the multitudes. It shifts people. It's creating steadiness, which creates safety. Their vision expands possibility for others. Possibilities, multiple possibilities. At diamond, the leadership becomes less about doing and more about being. You are still enrolling, you're still converting people to LRP, but what you're embodying more, being in the presence of, is leadership, leading from the front. So you still enroll, you still convert, you still run events, and you are calling to you, you are magnetizing to you more leadership. And that's what you want to duplicate. This leader's identity is expanded beyond fear, scarcity, urgency, and constant proving. They understand that true wealth is created through multiplication, contribution, trust, and aligned leadership over time. The diamond also asks for extraordinary emotional maturity. The leader must continue leading through seasons of challenge, criticism, projection, loss, change, growth, confrontation. Let me add that here, Tashi, right? It happens. It happens. So you need to remain anchored in the purpose and vision. This is why your why is so important. Your why needs to be rock solid. Energetically, diamond is often connected to service at the highest level. These leaders begin thinking generationally. This is where we're really tapping into, we got a legacy business here. How can I bless all the generations in my tree? How can I bless the generations, my familial generations, those yet to come, right? They understand what they're building exists and extends beyond them, extends beyond the here and now. They're creating opportunities, transformation, leadership, pathways, freedom, healing, expansion for thousands of people. You're inviting people now to be the best version of themselves because you're helping your leaders at Diamond to go from premier to silver, right? So that's that first leadership milestone for you to journey with them. This level is deeply connected to embodiment because teams do not simply follow words. They follow energy, integrity, congruence, and example. So you must be the leader you want your leaders to be because they see everything and they hear everything. The unseen and the seen, the spoken and the unspoken. They're getting that all from your subtle body. So here you could say apply the mantra of I'm here to lead from overflow, create lasting legacy, and expand what is possible for others. Amen, amen, amen. Hey? All right, so just feel that. I want you to feel the essential oil or blend that comes to you, a blend that you create for yourself that you're going to put in a roller bottle, a pulse point blend, and anoint yourself with. The song, is there a song? Is there a diamond song for you? May not come now, but sit with that. Pop it in the chat if you want to. Anne-Marie already knows hers. So, and please let us know when you want to be diamond by. Julie, Diamond 2027. Great. When in 2027? And you don't have to answer that now, Julie, either. Like just knowing it's going to be then might be enough for now, and then you can really break that down. June 30th, 2027. Okay, great. So that's it from me. I hope that was helpful. Anna, is that what you wanted? It's probably too freaking late now. I meant to ask that earlier, but anyway.
It was beyond what I could have asked for. And you got me in the feels with that last one. Oh, a couple of us. Okay, good. Oh, so touching. Thank you, Vanessa.
You're welcome,
but
love.
To have the I can't talk now. I'm just to have the clarity from Paul at the start and then to really go deeply with them, transforming. I feel that we're so privileged as a team to have received that.
Yep. Amen.
Thank you.
Thanks, loves.
All that's left after that is to get after it.
Get after it.
Be the diamonds. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, Tash.
Well, look, guys, you can be followers all your life if you want in this business and in life, or you can be the heroine of your own life. Like, which one would you rather? You know, like one of the things that I'm kind of constantly witnessing in the doTerra landscape, not just in our team, but across the board in doTerra, is there are people who want it, but something is actually stopping them from ever believing they could be it, because they always see someone else as that, and that they have to be one of the other things underneath of that, or a bit part player in someone else's dream, right? So my question is, why not you? Like, why can't you be the heroine of your own story instead of looking up to someone else? You know, like, life is short. Go after it. Go hard for it. Like, you know, like, live the best you can be. Do the best you can do. Throw it all out there and leave it all on the field and see what happens. You know, like, if you play safe, then you only get mediocre. So
this has been so inspiring, and we have
it.
everything with the belief that you guys have of us as well. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for being here, everyone. Thanks for staying with us.
Wake up as a brand new you tomorrow as the leader of a diamond team. And
yeah,
be like
Julie,
that. Act like that. Carry it.
Julie, that is a beautiful blend. Yes, you're welcome. You're welcome, everyone. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is about reclaiming your birthright, my loves. You know, you were born to not just leave a legacy behind when you die, but to help co-create that legacy with others and to live it and breathe it. Like your legacy creation begins now. Your living of that legacy begins now, right? And it happens to be something you can leave for the next generation. Bonus. So block out the noise as much as you can and remember this moment and align to this moment and rewatch this when you need to realign. Right? Yes, becoming who you were born to be. Absolutely. Building the legacy. This is all part of the return to love, because when you return to love, you return to the truth of who you are. We are innately joyful beings. It's beaten out of us, metaphorically and literally. We are here. We chose to incarnate to love and to be loved. Another thing that was freaking kicked out of us, right? So reclaim it. Reclaim it all. Your birthright is to be so abundant, to be richly blessed with health and wealth and love and beautiful partnerships and growth and expansion. Beauty beyond anything you can imagine awaits you. A grace beyond your human imagining awaits you, awaits all of us. We can't imagine that level of divine grace. It's infinite, and it's ready for us to just dance in the quantum field and choose from the infinite potentials, and then choose again and choose again and choose again. Right? So in the faces of the no's and the rejection and then in our minds, right? We're going to keep coming back to center. Be the leader I want my leaders to be. Expand with joy, with love, with honoring. Be the steward of my team, right? Without micromanaging, without controlling, relinquishing and releasing control, right? Speaking to those people, saying to me yes to the business, understanding what their vision is, what their passions are, what their why is, what their dreams are, what their goals are. And as you understand that, you'll get a fuller picture of when they rank, you rank. So that's where our compensation plan is so fruitful, because your rank influences my rank, influences his rank, influences her rank. It's a collective. So everyone's invested in each other, right? And you don't need to know the ins and outs of the comp plan to know that. Thanks, baby. I think you're pretty amazing too, Amore. All right. Well, love you all. Thanks for bringing this together, Anna. Thank you for your vision. Thank you for the clarity. Thank you for the absolute love-filled, authentic, strong leadership you bring. I love how all over your tree you are, and how you help others to understand where they're at and teach them how to see where they're at, not just doing it for them. Honoring you as the leader you are and who you have become and who you continue to become. It is an absolute joy for Paul and I to work with you as a leader on our front line. We've been dreaming about someone like you. And I want you all to know how blessed you are to have Anna and to have each other, because this community right here is a community of sparkling diamonds. I truly see that. And the next 5 years for you all is going to be huge as you watch your business partners rise and become sparkling elites and premiers and silvers, right? Your hearts will expand in a way that you cannot imagine. And when you cheer each other on walking across that stage, there is nothing like it. You know, as a sparkling silver or gold or, you know, whatever it may be. And you scream and you yell and you holler like a banshee. It's going to be something that will light you up. So hold that vision for each other, work together, stay together, show up for the Zooms, show up for the call to action, for the invitation to be the best version of yourself and to become who you were born to be. Because this is your invitation, and now you can just walk through that door. They're knocking at your door. You're going to say yes to be the best version of yourself. And every day, it's going to mean that you're going to have to reassess. It means you're going to have to take out the garbage to be that. And some days you'll do it better than others, and that's okay. You just need to have that vision. I choose to become who I was born to be. And I choose allies who want for that also. And together we're going to co-create miracles. And we're going to get on this magical oily carpet ride. And we're going to ride through the galaxies together. And we're going to bless the multitudes. All right.
Amen.
Amen.
So good.
All right, darlings. Sweetest dreams, deepest sleep. Get those blends created. Write those goals down. Put the dates in. And start creating some structure in your minds with like things like time blocking and all of that, now that you have your hearts on fire.
Amazing. Thank you, Vanessa.
You're so welcome. You're so
Good night,
welcome.
everyone.
Thank you, Anna.
Lots of love. Sleep well. Sweet
Bye, my
dreams.
darlings. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.